Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC, out in the woods again, talking about one of my favourite things to talk about, and that is backpacks. What we are here today to look at is the Hazard 4 Pillbox. This is something that I've had my eye on for quite some time, and as it so happens, the good people at Hazard 4 reached out and said, would you like to make some content on one? Of course I snatched the hand off. Now let's take a closer look. As we usually do, we'll go through some measurements, some materials, and then we'll have a look around the features of the pack itself. Now I'll leave the exact measurements down here at the bottom, but for all intents and purposes this is a 30-litre backpack. It's actually 29.5 litres if you want to be exact. But you know, I like to round up, and for all intents and purposes it's a 30-litre backpack. All of the materials on here are just bomber. I think that's one of the things that Hazard 4 really do pride themselves in. When you look at other big manufacturers out there that maybe go for, say, a 500D or a 700D, they're like, nah fam, it's gotta be 1000D. So all of the materials, especially the main kind of body materials, this is all 1000D Cordura. It's genuine Cordura. All of the webbing, there is a lot of webbing around the sides here and across the bottom. All of this is a 2-inch mil-spec webbing, and it also has these daisy chained 1-inch webbing sections on them as well, which is really nice. All of the zippers are genuine YKK zippers as well. Everything really is just absolutely bomber. And that makes sense when you think about, one, they make high-end, or at least they make gear that's designed for hard use. Especially with this, the hard case on this is designed to protect your cameras, is designed to protect maybe radio equipment, is designed to protect drones. If you're a drone operator, this is an absolute perfect bag for you guys. But to get back to that kind of that tough front here, so hopefully you'll be able to hear that. So this is coated in the it has the Cordura on there, and it's this hard shell. Now on the sides, rather than using a hard shell on here, it actually uses some really thick padding on there to give it its rigidity. Now that's one thing that you'll need to take into account with a pack like this, and that is that it is designed to be rigid, and the main reason it's designed to be rigid is to protect whatever electronics that you've got in here. So there is a little bit of jostle between that rigidity and, well, I suppose it's that protection. If you're after a bag that you like to be able to fold down and maybe put away, this probably isn't going to be the bag for you. But then if you're looking at the Pillbox for a specific reason, then you're going to want it for that reason, that it does have that rigidity. Now going through the features, as we usually do, we'll start on the outside, start at the bottom here. On the bottom it does have a nice grab handle on here. There is a grab handle at the top here which uses some of this kind of, I'm going to call it TPU. It might not be that, but it's kind of a TPU-y, rubbery kind of material on the top, so that when you hold this, it doesn't slip in your hands, especially if you're wearing gloves or if you've got wet hands. Whereas the one on the bottom here is just a little bit more low profile, and this uses the 1-inch webbing that you'll find, or 25mm webbing, that you find all the way out throughout the pack. All of this webbing goes down the sides here, so if I turn this round, and by the way, so both sides are identical, so whatever we look at on one side you'll find on the opposite side. So this webbing comes from the bottom corner here, which is where all of the zips and the compartments are stitched into. As far as the bottom section, there's no lashing points or anything on here other than the grab handle there. So starting from the bottom here, you then have this 2-inch or 50mm wide webbing that comes all the way up to the top and is sewn into the top here, which is where the point where the grab handle is. Now across the top, that webbing's not there, it's just a grab handle. And the same, so on top of that, you've got your 50mm or 2-inch webbing, and then on top of that, you then have this you have this 25mm or 1-inch webbing. Sorry about that. Down in the corner here, so underneath this webbing, there's a plastic bit in here which, for now, well actually no, might as well talk about this. So it does come with a waist strap. It's a 2-inch belt, and it passes in through here, similar to how you find sternum straps. So it passes kind of through there, and then there's a buckle that it pulls back to stop it coming off. I've took the belt off because generally I haven't needed any use for this, but I do have it in here, so we will have a look at that in a moment. On the front, I've been tapping on that a bit, but you can see, so you have this hard shell on the front. There is a Hazard 4 logo here, and then so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have these hard point attachments which you can add to these. So just from the looks at it here, because I haven't added two here specifically so you can see it, you see it looks like those kind of the grommets that you'll find when you have a pack and it needs to allow water out of there. But these hard point attachments, they're made from again another tough rubber, so that you can pass screws through these, and they bolt on the front, or they also bolt on the inside. So I do have them on the inside as well in a moment, which we'll have a look at. But if you've got any bungee cord, if you've got even 550 paracord, then you can put stuff onto the front of this, and then you can use these as lashing points to be able to then fasten it down, which I think is great as well. The one thing you may have noticed that this doesn't have is, as far as external sides here, there's no pockets, there's no water bottle holders or anything like that. It's designed to be as minimal as possible on the side. If you did want to add something, you could do, but when it's not on there, it's supposed to have a minimal clean look and feel to it. Now coming to the top here, I've set this up. In fact, let's just pull that to one side. So this is definitely what I'd consider to be a 2-compartment bag. There is the main compartment, which is probably, I'm just guessing here, maybe 25 litres of the 30 litres, and then you have more of a tech organisational panel here at the front. All of the zippers on here, YKK zippers, and they also have locking eye holes on here. So if you are travelling with this and you're concerned somebody might get into this while it's, I don't know, being handled by, well, whoever, you can lock those. That's rare that I ever need to sneeze. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so yes, locking eye holes. What they've also done as well is, so you get it, there's just some accessory cord on here. The two that go into the front section have these little elastic loops on them, whereas the ones into the main section don't, so it's just a little bit easier to be able to find which zip is the one that you need to open which compartment. Now this does open all the way down to the bottom, but hopefully you'll see here it does stop itself from opening all the way. So I've got some stuff in here. Here's my Lockbee Tech pouch, or the Venture pouch. Have my pencils in here from the office. But if you want to, you can open all this. So as you see, so on the sides here, there's an accordion effect on here. But if you did need to open this all the way so that it will open full clamshell, this is held on by hook and loop. So you can just undo, there's my notepad for today. You can undo these on both sides and allow that to either, well, in this case it's swinging all the way down. But if you had this and you were putting it on something and you wanted to open that all the way up, that would open it all the way up. So here's those, let's move this to one side for a second. Here's those hard points on the inside as well, so you can have them on the outside and the inside, and you can use this loop so that you can lash stuff in here. When it is that the hard points aren't being used, see if I can show you this one. There's those grommets, and what you get is one of these hook and loop fillers, so you can put that over there. And what that does is the holes that are here on the outside, it stops those holes from allowing dust and debris and dirt and bits of crap to be able to get in there. Especially as if this is being used as more of a tech panel, you don't want that getting in with your stuff. All of this is lined, so this front shell here is lined, so if you have anything that is hook and loop, you can just attach it to this and it will stay on there. And then there's also hook and loop through this kind of rear panel as well. This also has a section in here that you can put stuff into, which I had my my venture pouch in there. But across the back panel here, this is your, I guess you call it your tech panel. There is some laser cut PALS webbing here on the front, so if you had any specific pouches that you use on a regular basis, you can attach these directly onto the front. I guess if you were in an area of the world where you're out adventuring and you were concerned about wild animals, you probably could attach a CCW or something like that to here as well. Behind here, oh actually I forgot I got these. So these are those hard points that attach to it, and each one of these hard points can take up to 20 kilos, which is, I mean, that's pretty tough. So you have some organisation in here, some little pockets that you can put things into. Behind here there's a slip pouch, which I have notes because I always keep notes when I'm at work. This comes down to here, so where this seam is, this is where this pocket is, and it just goes down to there, but it comes all the way across the front. Then behind here, there is a dedicated sleeve that you can put a laptop into. I forgot. No, I thought for a second I might have had my tablet in there. I go to work with a 16-inch laptop, and this will fit a 16-inch laptop perfectly, no issues whatsoever, fits in there fine. If you do have a larger than a 16-inch laptop, I know there's big ones out there, there is another laptop section that we'll have a look at as well. Now when you want to close this back up, if you close it back up and just kind of press it on for a second, the hook and loop on the sides that was keeping this down, but we took that off, will then reattach, and it's really useful for that. It's not one that you have to kind of sit there and I mean, you might do if you've got like real OCDs that it's not lined up perfectly. Of course, when I've done this, I will check it to make sure they are lined up perfectly. But you just close it, just give it a bit of a push for a second, and it'll just stop it again in future if you're randomly hanging your bag from a tree and don't want everything to fall out of there. Now the main compartment is behind here. Now everything is probably going to fall out now, so let's just open this carefully. I've got a rain jacket, I've got some water here, I've got another rain jacket, and I also have flashlight that we're going to be having a look at, another piece of content. But this is your main bread and butter when it comes to, like I mentioned before, if you're using this to carry a camera to keep it safe, or if you're using this to carry a drone. Drones really would be perfect for this, just purely because the amount of space that you do have in here. But I'd say, as mentioned, I'm guessing this is probably, say, about 25 litres or 26 litres of the full 29.5, but we'll call it 30 for now. So what you have is this fold section. What you can do with this is you have hook and loop on that side, hook and loop on that side, so you can put that on, then fold it over again, or I do it the opposite way, which would be that way. So if you have any cables, you can lie your cables down on this, hold this over your cables, and then it will just allow them to kind of hang there. This is also fully hook and loop-ified. It's lined with a felt that you can attach anything to, so if you do again have specific pouches that you prefer to use, then you can attach these to here. All of the stitching throughout, and this is throughout the entire pack, is immaculate. All of the edge trimming or the edge stitching has additional webbing on there because they're high abrasion areas, just to help and reinforce those. Then on the inside, so I'm just going to let this hang for a second, but on the inside here, hopefully you'll be able to see. Now I haven't been using these, mainly because I've been using this as a commute style backpack when I go into the office. I don't own a drone yet. I'd love to own a drone, but the space that you have in here is great, and you also get these dividers. So with your dividers, I'm sure if you're into photography, you'll have seen these in a lot of different photography style bags. So you can put these in here so that you can make sure whatever it is that you're carrying, there are 3 ones that will fit across like that, and then there are 4 smaller ones. Let's put those down there on the floor for a second. There are 4 smaller ones that you can then make those sections even smaller, and you can break this up exactly how you need to. If you're enjoying the content today and you'd like to support my channel, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button below. If you do choose to do that, I'd like to say a huge thank you and welcome on board into the Moorlander community. Now back to today's content. Other than that though, the inside of this is fairly plain. It's fairly simple, and I think they've tried to keep it as simple as possible, mainly because you've got those dividers. If you don't want to use dividers, take them out and you can use it as a regular backpack. I've been taking this into the office, and then when I've gone to the gym in the evening, I can fit my gym kit in here. Apart from my trainers, it's not big enough to be able to put my trainers in as well, but I'll just carry those around. But yeah, a very useful area. And I mentioned in the beginning, it is full clamshell. So there you go, so that's that section. Now behind here, I did mention earlier that there is a laptop section. So on the back, I know at this point I probably discussed the back panel, but on the back here, you may notice that there is another double zip here at the top with, again, it does have those eye closures on here. So you can double open this, and then on the inside there is another hook and loop panel that you can fit a larger laptop into. I don't own a 17-inch laptop, but I put my 16-inch laptop in here and there's plenty of room. Really, it just doesn't touch the sides. That's what she said. So you can fit a lot in. Now I will say it does go all the way down to the bottom, so it's not a suspended one, whereas the one that's on the inside is suspended. But for me, I use the one that's on the inside and certainly don't have any issues. But yes, so you have an additional section on the back. There is also, if you should need it, there is a bit at the top. So what you can do is you can lift this up and then zip these up so that if you do need quick access into this panel, that you've got something that you can kind of do that kind of rip down. Or I guess if you wanted to, you could use this as a hydration bladder. I think with you having tech in this, it's been designed for tech. It's probably not the best use for it, but you could hang something from there as well if you wanted to. So that's the secondary, I'm going to call it the secondary laptop panel for now. I'm just putting these buckles back on here. So as we're going to talk about the straps now, it's good to show these off, and the fact that it's nice that you do have load adjusters on here. This is 29.5 litres, and you'll have your camera equipment in here. You might have a laptop, you might have other electronics, all of the cables that go with that. You might also have a drone in here as well. So there's a chance that this can get heavy. So with the load adjusters on here, you can pull these down, fasten them up, and as you'll see there, it's just lifted the straps away from the back. That's perfect, so that if you've got this on, you tighten your load adjusters and it'll just bring it a little bit closer into your shoulders to help your shoulders and your back whilst you're carrying. Sorry about that, that was an air ambulance just flying past. I thought I'd stop just to see if they were okay. I don't know. Anyway, so getting back to the straps, load adjusters are great, and you've got plenty of strap management for these. So they, in fact, all of the straps, I probably forgot to mention that. So here on the main straps, and then on your load adjusters, you have these Velcro tabs. So if you want to roll these back up because it's too much webbing, I'm sure you've all seen these before. You roll it up, pinch these in again, and then you can set that. Now on the actual straps themselves, they also have some pass-through straps on here. So if you do have a bladder in here, or if for some reason you want to pass some cable management through these, then you can pass these through here as well. Now these ones, or at least the ones here at the top, these are just a stitched in loop. Whereas the ones a little bit further down, hopefully you'll see here it says Hazard 4, you have these nice Velcro strapped versions on there. Maybe if you have a radio or you're running comms for something, then you can attach your radio to here. And again, you know, there's a little bit more so that you can do some wire management as well. Coming down, you have a sternum strap. The sternum strap on this is great. It's also removable. If you did want to remove this, I like how they've done this. So what you have is, and I've seen other people do this, so it's not difficult to do, but it's always difficult to do things when you're on camera. So it has a press stud, but on either side or surrounding the press stud is some hook and loop. So when it's on there fast, so you have to kind of open the hook and loop and the press stud at the same time, which I've seen it done on other packs. It's nice when they do that. So yeah, sternum strap there. Coming down onto the straps themselves, you do have quick release buckles at the end of each of the straps. So for whatever reason, if you were doing something and needed to ditch this quickly, you can pinch those and you can take it off straight away, not having to take it off whatever it is that you've got underneath. I do like those. The back panel on here is really nice. It doesn't look like it would be comfortable, but it is. So it uses it. I don't know how to explain it. It almost feels like a thermoset kind of plastic, but it's actually spongy. So through here, it's like it's been pressed onto this. So these bits have been pushed in, but then you still have the sponge bits or the foam bits here as well. It does conform a little bit to your back as well, which is nice. Across the top here, although this isn't strictly speaking a yoke system, it kind of is because it's part of the back of the actual straps. The straps are sewn in at the top, but you have this additional mesh padding here at the top. So it actually comforts your shoulders across the yoke of your shoulders really nice when you're wearing it. But all in all, it's a strange back panel, and I mean strange in the nicest way. When you look at it, it does feel as though it's quite tough, but when you've got it on, it's actually really nice whilst you're carrying it. Now the Pillbox is an incredibly tough bag, and for good reason. I've mentioned a few times, this is designed for your optics, an optics hard shell for your camera, for your drone, for electronic equipment that you want to make sure stays in one piece. As an EDC everyday bag, it does still work. Going into the office with this, doing a commute with this, has been fine. I've had no issues with it whatsoever. But you do have to take into account that it is a hard case. It's not something, hopefully you've noticed, we haven't touched on any compression straps or anything like that, because you put stuff into it and the sides are rigid. It's never going to get any smaller than this. So it's just something that you need to bear in mind if it is that you're using this for EDC, if you're using this to commute with, or whatever it is that you're going to do with this. If you're using this as intended to have your optics, your drones, all of that sort of stuff in here, this is unbelievably good, because you can put whatever you want in here, throw it off the top of the roaches. I'm not going to test that, don't take my word on that. But whatever you've got in the back of the Hazard 4 Pillbox will definitely be protected. And I want to say a huge thank you to Hazard 4 and reaching out. I also want to say a huge thank you to Military First, who also introduced me to Hazard 4. They're a company that my relationship originally, I might as well add this bit. So my relationship originally with Hazard 4 is I've always been a huge Hazard 4 fan. I've had a lot of backpacks, but the first backpack that I put in a lot of research into and you spent some time trying to decide which one I want was the Hazard 4 patrol bag. I absolutely love that bag. I was away with work, I was seeing some clients, we were in France, we went for something to eat. I got distracted on purpose. It was a split second and somebody stole my bag and my laptop, everything was in there, which is why I'm always super conscious about situational awareness. It's incredibly important when you're doing city breaks. So I've always had a bit of a thing for Hazard 4. So when Military First introduced me to them, I was kind of, yeah, I'd love to make some content with these guys. So little weird story aside, I will leave some of Hazard 4's links below. I'll also leave some of Military First's links below. I'll leave some of my social media links so that you can see more from here on Moorlander EDC and my sister channel Moorlander Tactical. And whether you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander and stay EDC. Of the pack itself, let's just make sure that the audio is definitely plugged in, because I'm an idiot. I can picture the guy's face that distracted me, and it's imprinted in the back of my I have a terrible memory, but some things I have the ability to almost kind of, what's the word, like photographic memory thing. It's broken. I was dropped as a child, so yeah, there you go. A lot of helicopters today. Flies aren't as bad, which is nice. The Hazard 4 Pillbox. Pillbox. What did I say? Did I say Pillbox? Pillow? Let's try that again.